Hi boys and girls, it's Mrs. Burke here to do a video math lesson with you. Today's lesson is going to be on classifying plane shape figures. And a plane shape figure is simply a 2D figure. So it's going to be flat and it's going to have length and width, but it's not going to be 3D. So it's not going to have any sort of height on it, just the length and the width. So when we're classifying today, I want you to think of the word classifying as when you're trying to find things that objects have in common and how you can group them that way. So in today's lesson, before we get into classifying plane shape figures, I thought maybe we could first classify some different things that we see in our everyday lives. So to start, we're going to take a look here at a Venn diagram. And a Venn diagram, you've probably seen these in your reader's workshop or your writer's workshop, but these Venn diagrams help us to see things that are in common and things that are different. So as you can see, we have two circles, and there's one part of the circle that overlaps. And each circle is going to have a heading. So if I look over here, I see the heading animals on land. And I can see the animals that fit this classification. Dogs are animals that you can find on land, lions are, and so are giraffes. On this side, I wanted to have a different classification or look for something different that animals have in common. And these are animals that can be found on the water: dolphins, sharks, and goldfish. Now, there is this area right here in the middle, which means these two groups will also share a common classification. So in the middle, I have a frog, a turtle, and a duck. And since this circle talks about animals that are on the water, frogs, turtles, and ducks are part of this circle. But in this circle, I have animals on land. And look, inside this circle is also the frogs, the turtle, and the ducks, which means these three in the middle that fall into this overlapping area have both things in common. So frogs, turtles, and ducks are animals that can be found on the land and on the water. So when we're looking today at plane shaped figures, we want to think about different ways we can classify shapes. And when we were working with our quadrilaterals, we focused a lot on the number of right angles, the length of their sides, the number of parallel sides. And when we looked at triangles, we looked very closely at the size of their angles, whether they were obtuse triangles, acute triangles, or right triangles. And then also we looked at the length of their sides, if they were scalene, if they were isosceles, or if they were equilateral. So I want to take a look at a different Venn diagram, which is right here. And in this Venn diagram, there are two titles to let you know how I classified these triangles. So in my left circle, I have triangles that are isosceles. And this word isosceles means two sides have equal length, okay? And if I look closely at the triangles that were included, here I can see this triangle has two sides that are equal. Remember, these dashes let us know they're equal. Then down here I have these two sides which are equal in length. And then in this triangle down here, I have a 5-inch side, a 5-inch side, and a 10-inch side. So these also have two sides that are equal length. So all three of these are classified as isosceles triangles. Now with this circle over here, I gave the heading right triangles. And you can see each triangle in this circle has a right angle. So as long as it has one right angle, we can classify it as a right triangle. But then I have this special area in the middle which overlaps. And I notice here that this triangle has a right angle. And then also 7 yards, 7 yards, 10 yards, it has two sides of equal length, which makes this isosceles. And then on this triangle down here, I have a right angle. And then these dashes let me know I have two sides of equal length. So the two triangles in the middle are extra special because they fit the classification for both this circle of isosceles triangles and this circle of right triangles. So the special middle part would be a combination. These are going to be right isosceles triangles. They have to fit both criteria. So now I have all of these shapes classified. And I couldn't put this one in the middle because it would be missing the two equal sides. And I couldn't put this triangle in the middle because it doesn't have a right angle. So in order to be in this middle classification, you have to satisfy the heading for both circles. All right, let's look at another one. Here on this circle, on the left, I have the heading quadrilaterals. And a quadrilateral is a polygon with 4 sides and 4 angles. So I'm looking here, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. And then down here, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. So I can see why each one of those can be classified as a quadrilateral. When I move to this circle, I have a new heading. And these polygons are polygons with more than one right angle. So let me take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right angles. But I also noticed something else. This polygon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. And then when I look down here, I have 2 right angles over here, so they have more than one right angle. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, which makes this a pentagon. And then down here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right angles. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides, which makes this an octagon. So each one of these polygons satisfies the more than one right angle because there's more than one right angle. But notice I can't move any of these into this middle circle because the middle circle has to have both titles in common. So this middle circle is going to be reserved for quadrilaterals. I'll write it up here. So they'll have to be a quadrilateral and they'll have to have more than one right angle. And maybe in your head right now, you can start thinking of some of those. Okay, what do I know is a quadrilateral with more than one right angle? Now I have 3 polygons that I want you to help me classify and either put it in the quadrilateral side, the more than one right angle side, or does it fit both of those and I can put it in the middle? Let's take a look. First, I have a shape. I do not recognize any right angles. So right away I know I can't put it on this heading because it doesn't have any right angles. And in order to be here, you need more than one right angle. So let me see if I can put it on the quadrilateral side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it has 4 sides, so I can call it a quadrilateral. And I certainly can't put it in the middle because if it doesn't have the more than one right angle, then it certainly can't have both of these attributes. All right, let's take a look at the next one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 right angles, so that's more than one right angle. Let's see if it would fit in quadrilaterals. 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. It could also be classified as a quadrilateral. Since it fits both headings, I'm allowed to put this one right in the middle because it has attributes of both. And finally, I have a shape here with 2 right angles, so that would be more than one, so it can fit on here. Let's see if it would work on the quadrilateral side. Does it have 4 sides? 1, 2, 3, 4. It does. So since this has both more than one right angle and it's a quadrilateral, I can classify it as a quadrilateral with more than one right angle. So you're going to do some of this work today. I want you to pay very close attention to the heading and make sure that if you're in this middle area, it's because you have attributes of both headings, right? Good luck today. Take your time, count those sides, look at those angles, and check those parallel sides, and do your best work. Have a great day, Stewart School.